Ms. Cronenberg?
Yeah.
Mr. Ramsey?
Yeah, I want to, I didn't know if Mr. Brown had a motion or anything. I was going first, so. But, did you have anything you wanted to offer? Yeah.
No, I'll wait to see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think individuals are asking a fair question, and I think they need to hear, because one issue is, was there an explanation why Castro was taken off as a recommendation? I know Mr. Savage had talked about it before. I don't know if there's a way we can hear from staff as to what that is, or so, because everybody asked that question about why we've narrowed it down to these choices. Right, that's fine. You can say that. Well, I'll answer it. You said it was the board's decision, all right? The board made a decision to take Castro off the list. That's what. So, well, I'll get to that, all right? Why don't you give me a chance, since he answered the question. Transparency, you want to hear, I don't have a problem answering the question and giving you my rationale and feelings about that. Now, other people can speak for themselves, because I was part of the board that made that decision, so you need to hear that. Mr. Brown wasn't. He had another proposal. That proposal wasn't accepted, which is the K-8, because he thought it provided more choice and options. So, the thing that I wanted to also ask, though, is that, and I'm a little vague about it, and this is a question for me, has there been conversations with city staff about this particular proposal? Because I think I need to kind of have a better understanding. If I'm going down this path, is it going to be something that's going to open up a whole lot of other questions about coming back and saying, staff says this. I just want to have some idea if there's been any conversations with anybody on city staff, or if they've had any kind of statements to you or not.
Not anyone specific on the council to me. We have met with the city staff folks and had conversations about this and about whether or not they would be interested in a possible land swap at the lower side of Portola, etc. So yes, we've had those conversations. It's challenging. It's doable, but it will be challenging.
All right. All right. But has the city indicated at all whether that this is a proposal that they're willing to consider, or one that they seem to be interested in?
Yes, I'm sorry, I thought I said that, but yes, we met with them. They're interested in it. They like the concept and the idea in terms of what it can do for the combination of their public services pieces. So yes, they're interested. But there are, in any of these processes, and the reason why we need to go down the CEQA process, etc., is that all of those kind of details can begin to emerge, and that's the purpose of that process.
Now, people don't have to agree with my reasons or rationale, and they can move forward. I voted to take Castro off the list because of the concerns and comments I heard, because I went to all the meetings and listened to all the people. And I first want to say that I didn't want to do any of this, and I think it's very difficult to even get to this point. I don't believe that the information that I had about moving students from Portola at all had been fully vetted, and I still don't believe it. But at this point in time, I don't think there's anybody on this board that believes, and my child will be going to Portola in about 6 months. So I can speak, and I'll have 2 kids going there for the next 4 years. So I don't believe that the whole decision and discussion around actually moving Portola has been fully vetted. I just don't. I believe that there's been no follow-up to the letter that was written by the state explaining what it meant, what the ramifications were, and that I think that it's been a situation for me that I feel has resulted in now getting, like Mr. Brown has said, everybody in the community upset, because I think that these processes that were created led people to the impression that certain things were going to happen. And I think we did listen, and I think I did hear it. And from the discussions and conversations that we had, many in terms of traffic, in terms of what's already being provided at the Castro school site, the Cameron site, the parklands, what the city and the residents had in terms of land use there, they did not want to see that interrupted. That was my take on it. Now, whether I'm right or wrong, at least I've given you my reasons for why Castro, in my opinion, was taken off the list. You don't have to agree with it. You can tell me I'm not making any sense, but at least you've heard from me. Now, maybe the other board members will share their feelings with you, because I believe you deserve an answer. You're the taxpayers, you're the voters, you're the residents, and I don't have anything to hide. And so I want to make sure that I at least express to you why I took Castro off the list. And I did that in relationship to the other thing. I agree. I think that the things that you've heard, eminent domain is a challenge. You got this family here that talking about, housing costs are so exorbitant, to be able to find a comparable, similar place is going to be very difficult. In addition, the site's 6.7 acres, incredibly tiny, incredibly small. And so they're looking at all these things. For me, Alvarado I won't vote to send kids to Alvarado, so they don't have my vote for that. I just won't do that, because I don't think it's an appropriate site, and we don't have the money to even fix it up. We're cutting a school off the list today, so to talk about spending money somewhere else, it makes the situation even worse. I don't believe in closing schools. I didn't close Fairmont the last time. I voted not to do that. But this is a whole different scenario. There's an impression on this board that the Portola site must be evacuated and must be dealt with, and it has. So it's like, okay, where do we go? This is my next part of the thing. Oxbridge group was hired to study all of the sites in El Cerrito, and look for an alternative site. I voted to pay for that study because I wanted to have some justification to say, hey, is there any commercial sites? We looked at the Dolan site, and the remediation costs, the toxics, the dislocation of even more families, to even get started, we were told, is $35 million to even begin the preparation needed and necessary to engage in even the works. And it's a public document. I hope that you get a copy of the Oxbridge Group's work, because you're the taxpayer, you're entitled to, it's paid for by taxpayer money. At least you can look at it and move in that direction. The other thing that I do have concern, why only 600? I mean, that sort of plays into the conversation that there's no room for growth, there's no opportunity to have what Portola had been. It had been 1,000 students at one time. What if you have an exciting program? Where will your middle school kids in El Cerrito even go? It's a big, big challenge and a big, big problem. But the reality is that we have to make a choice, or we can look at other options. I feel that those options have been explored, except what Mr. Brown had said, the K-8 option, which I do not support. I do not support the K-8 option, because I don't believe it's a solution. And I'll say that time and time again, but at least you've heard it from me, and so for me that's not a consideration. Castro was a consideration. However, from working with staff, hearing the constituents, hearing the city, and seeing what other options are available, this seems to be the final choice that a majority of the board, I'm hearing, seems to be something, and it seems like this is not really staff's recommendation, so I want it to be clear. that whoever votes for this is because the board is choosing to go in this direction, not because staff is telling us in absolute detail that this is the absolute final choice. The board may change their mind and say, look, we want you to look at the Castro site, but at this point in time, I'm going to support this proposal. But that's just me. I can't speak for anybody else.
Ms. Kronenberg?
Okay.